So
Now
he should be able.
he's having trouble getting back in.
Huh.
Heather was in, but she had no audio. We couldn't hear her.
Oh, this is strange.
So where are you?
Where? In Italy.
Oh, Italy. Place I'd like to visit one day.
Yeah, come and see us. We have a bed and breakfast, so
Oh, do
can
you?
come.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what other social media do you use other than trying to do
Oh,
Blab? You use Hangouts?
yeah. Mainly Hangouts. Blab is the first week I'm doing, so
Yeah,
it's
this is
really.
only my second time I've been sitting in a Blab. I joined one yesterday for the first time. So,
Uh-huh. I have already joined several and done 3, so it's quite engaging. It's quite, I don't know why they have this problem here. Sometimes it happens. It has to do with bandwidth too.
oh, okay. Well, my bandwidth is normally slow where I am because I'm not where I usually produce my show. I use business Hangouts.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
using, I have used also Crowdcast, and also we are doing now something with Webinar Jam. So,
Oh, okay.
but the normal shows we are doing on normal Hangout so far. But here there are more people who jump by. You get interested in the topic and then you do it. While on Hangouts you invite the people, or they see it or they don't see it. So there
Right.
is not so much the possibility to just
Just
see.
pop in.
Yeah, and I like that, and let's see what is on. Like television. Let's see what is on, and then I can
Channel
go in.
surfing.
Yeah. This
I
is
mean,
they do it.
I do an auto show on, I use business Hangouts, which is just a version of Hangouts itself.
Yeah, I know.
And I have a panel of about 6, 7 auto journalists from around the country and around the US. And we just talk about,
Means auto, means
yeah,
car, means
yeah.
cars, about
hmm
cars.
And we're all a group of auto journalists and we talk about what's happening in the auto industry. And it's about, sometimes it's 7 or 8 of us in, but with Blab, you can only have 4 people. So I don't know how I
Yeah.
could make that transition over.
It depends what you want. I mean, if you have an agreement that everybody who has spoken goes out and gives the other the
Right.
place.
There's
Here
Andrew.
comes
Okay,
Andrew.
yeah, I refreshed and came back. I think my Comcast thing, it's been switching to local only all morning long, so it's something that they're doing here too. How are you, darling? I have never been in a real live hangout with you before. I've seen you a lot, but I have never talked to you.
No, it's true.
Yeah, I'm just learning to get my feet wet on this thing. I don't know how much I'll actually be using it, but I have to say I am surprised because I've set this thing up and said private. Of course, Blab isn't private.
Right.
Anybody on earth can walk in here. But I am surprised that people are paying attention. We've only had one person come in that I didn't recognize as a member. They said that they were, but I didn't recognize whatever Twitter handle they're using, and then couldn't get them actually up into here, so they left. But
Andrew, let me ask you this.
okay.
Anybody can just join in, or do you have to allow them to join in?
No, anybody can join in.
They can just pop in, right?
Yeah, but you get an ask to say yes. While you were not in, I could join in easily. But when somebody else joins in, you get a text and you have to click on yes or no.
Oh,
so
you mean join in here rather than join the to join in here, I have to approve.
Okay.
If 3 different people hit the join button, I could pick which one I wanted to come in.
Now only the host can make that selection, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I was confused about. I was sitting in one yesterday and the guy was talking about, people joining in, and the way he made it sound like me as a participant, I could bring anybody in, or people would just jump in whenever they choose to. I said, wait a minute, I don't want that. I don't have any kind of control. So
Yeah. No,
you have control.
oh, okay.
Yeah. It
You can click them out also.
Yeah.
You can click them away.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
I've got a little X up in the corner of each screen, and if I click that puts you out of the
Yeah, because I have an X in the top of my screen.
Oh.
So you go out. You know,
Okay.
you can go out.
Yeah, that's how you get out. And if I want to go out, I click that same X. And
Okay. Now, yesterday I didn't have that X to get out because there was no way to get out. The guy said, "Well, I'll just put you out." He said, "Don't be offended." I said, "No, I'm leaving." He said, "I said, but how do I get out?"
Well, I will tell you, they seem to be updating this thing somehow every 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah,
from what I've heard people saying.
Yeah, I'm dealing with some video software that's doing the same thing for my iPhone. Every other day they're changing something. So I'm in their beta program, so we're trying to make it better.
Well, that's my Chromebox. Now the Chromebooks, they update on a schedule, and
right,
fairly well. My Chromebox, yesterday I got 2 updates. The day before I got 3, and apparently it is only the Hewlett Packard Chromebox with the i7 that is getting these updates. It's something about that particular build that Hewlett Packard did that requires Chrome to do different things, and with the Acer Chromebox or the Asus Chromebox with the same chip. It's a weird situation. Hello, Heather. Can you hear? Can you talk?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I had to go into my system settings and change all of my sound and microphone and everything in system settings on my computer to make it work with Blab.
Oh.
Okay.
Didn't have to do that.
I know. It's crazy. I tried doing one of these with Ronnie 2 nights ago, and I could never get it. There's a camera up in your browser bar, and I made the changes there. Nothing would affect. I'd refresh. Nope, nothing. I just got the idea that I wonder if my system needs to be told. Forget the browser. So I went in and did that. And
well,
do you use a PC or a Mac?
What do you think?
A Mac?
No.
Or PC? See, that's why you need to go to Mac.
No, because you notice how I could go control that.
You need to go to Mac. I'm telling you.
Are you kidding?
I'm a Mac fan, but I'm doing these things all on the Chromebook, on the HT Chromebook.
Why did you all go to Chromebook? What's the advantage?
The advantage is you don't get viruses. You don't have to do any updating. It's all automatic.
That's the same thing with a Mac.
For me, it was inexpensive.
No.
For me, it was inexpensive with all that stuff. And I wanted a tablet, but I realized the limitations of a tablet, and I said, no way.
Yeah.
So can't you do all of that on a MacBook Air?
Yeah, but the thing is, on a MacBook Air, you can download programs to it. You may be able to get a virus with that download. On a Chromebook, you cannot download programs to it. It just don't happen.
Money.
Yeah. Chromebook is cheap, relatively. I pay $300, but it's when I really want to work, I go on my MacBook. And the advantage is on the Chromebook, I do it for that. And then on the MacBook, I can parallel do things, When I do also the broadcast on the MacBook, we have to shut down everything. Then I forget where I was. And then, it's all these things. And so I have it open all the time where I'm working, blah, blah, and look a little bit here. And then I go back without having to do all these transitions, And I decided to do that. It's auto-updating for Chrome, all these things. I don't have to. I hear an echo now.
Well, I switched to Mac a few years ago, and mainly because I used to be on a PC, and I was on an assignment, a paid assignment. I had my PC on the back seat. I opened the door. It dropped out on the ground. It would not restart. I said, now, wait a minute. I'm down here, and these people are paying me to do stuff for them. What am I going to do? So I ran over to Best Buy and I said, well, I've heard about this Mac. Everybody that I'm going to be working with at this event has a Mac. So if I need to learn anything, they can teach me. So I bought a Mac.
I had Macs before Macs were cool. When Macs were like this big was the screen, and the back end of it went, 4 feet.
Yeah, I know.
and then you hook it up to a dot matrix, and you wait 25 minutes for it to print out one page. That's when I had a Mac.
That's time ago.
No, but I wouldn't. Right now, I wouldn't go back to a PC.
I wouldn't either.
Car companies have given us iPads. I have two iPads, and then I bought, and then I bought a MacBook Air, and I have a smartphone. And I just wouldn't switch. It just makes life too easy.
Yeah,
It's still not easy. It's still not easy. Still, you have to do a lot of stuff too.
For what I do, it's easy.
Yeah, I love your walk-arounds at auto shows.
Oh, do you?
I love watching those. I do. I love watching those. I love when you take us into the car, around the car. I mean, you literally kick the tires. I love it.
And I don't talk about the car, you notice.
Yeah, I do notice.
And I'm thinking about bringing that over to this platform to get more people who can say, oh, show me this on the car. And I can literally go over and show them the cruise control. And if they want to talk about how it works, normally I don't talk, but on this format, I'd have to do more talking about the car, I think.
Yeah.
And show it that way. Because right now I use a GoPro and I even show the undercarriage. I drive the car over, slowly over the GoPro, and you can actually see what's under the car. So when I say a detailed walk around, that's what I mean.
Now you're going to have to do is get you a drone so you can get a shot straight down.
Now, I had a buddy of mine on the show a couple of shows ago, and he talks about drones, Al Vasquez out of Miami. And Al has some great drone shots. I mean, unbelievable. But for what I do, I don't see a need for a drone right now.
Yeah.
And there's so many regulations that are going to come out with drones.
Eventually, I know California just...
Yeah, because he was saying they're talking about you have to have a small plane license to start flying these things, which means you have to literally get a pilot's license to fly a drone.
Yeah,
but you do have he has some great shots. He has some great shots.
Yeah, I know. What's his name? The guy over in England, James Yearley. He's into drones and beekeeping and all that. And every once in a while he has different drone manufacturers on his show and everything to show their newest model and stuff. It's interesting,
I just have to find a need for it. How can it fit into what I'm doing? Go ahead.
I'm that way on most things.
That's a good need.
What did you say, Heather?
You could spy on your neighbors. That's a good need.
No. I have enough problems to worry about.
I thought that's all those things were for.
Yeah, that's what people are doing with them, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah. We got. I know we've got here in Tennessee. We've got one of the few areas around a dam that is actually authorized to fly drones around. Because most of the places don't. I know some places in California do have federal approval, and Hawaii has federal approval for drone flights around certain things where most of the time they're not allowed, Now,
one of the most interesting uses I saw for a drone, farmers are starting to use drones now to literally fly over their fields for irrigation to see what areas really need the water versus overwatering different parts and the other one not getting enough water. So they're literally using drones to go up and do shots.
That's a good use.
That's a good use.
That's exciting when technology is being used positively and in a good, healthy way.
Yeah.
We hear so many, non-healthy ways that people are doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like people were talking about Google Glass. I'm sitting in a restaurant and I don't want you videotaping me. Yet you have 10 people at different tables with smartphones taking pictures and videotape. But because I'm wearing glass, well, and I haven't had that problem, but because I'm sitting there with glass on, they think I'm spying on them.
Yeah.
But they'll just miss all the other 20 or 10 people shooting. Shooting video.
Or they'll turn around with their phone and start shooting you.
Right.
What they're objecting about. I mean, hello.
But when I wear glass, I usually, I'll wear it around my neck. And the only time I really use it is, again, to do car stuff. I don't use glass to. Well, I take that back. I was invited to shoot a baby shower, and everybody knew I was using it. So I used glass to shoot the baby shower because I could literally walk around. I can talk to people and get there. They can say hi to the parent and all that kind of stuff. So I did but that was with permission. I don't use it unless I get permission.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Responsible.
Yeah.
But you see, you said nobody came in when you wrote private, so there is still some recognition. We only have to remind people about it, that it's not okay that they just shoot a photo of you.
Yeah.
You wrote it private, and so nobody came in. And when we say
that's what surprises me, because I thought the minute I put private up there, it's going to attract a whole lot of people coming in just to see what
it is.
I think that's probably why Carl is here, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, we've got 19 people out there, and I don't think all those people are members, and but
But they don't listen. As far as I know, only the ones who have here the little pictures on top, they are the ones who are listening.
Oh,
Right.
The others just came in and went out.
Right.
oh, okay.
Now I only show 4 icons, and that's the 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The 19 must be the number that actually registered or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I have something to do. I go out and then you can see. I still stay maybe a minute.
It says 19 total viewers, only 4 watching live at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when I go out, I will still stay up here until I have closed the page.
Okay.
So because I will still hear you, or so I'm out. No, when I click on my little cross, then I'm out, but I still hear you.
So how do you get back in when you do that, Heidi?
If I want back in, I ask again.
Okay.
Join the.
Okay.
I can do that. I just go out and then I.
Okay.
Okay, so here I have something for you guys while we're testing this thing that she's done. Last night I was in a hangout for till the wee hours of the morning, and Sheila Hensley told us a story. Now I'm not going to tell you the story, but that just prefaces what this is.
A truck.
That's.
Don't laugh at my proportions and stuff because I got it done real fast. But anyway, it was mostly tongue in cheek, and then I spent about an hour and a half after that making it look better. So.
Oh, great!
That's lovely.
But I know that you're the car man, and so is Andrew.
Well, I talk about a lot of other things other than cars.
I have never heard you talk about anything else.
you must have missed a lot of shows, because we also the last couple of shows, and I said we weren't going to do it, but I was drawn into politics. I said we're not going to do politics, and we're not going to do religion. The last show, I started religion because I started talking about the Pope and Mercedes being excommunicated by the Pope because the Pope is now going to use a Jeep Wrangler. So we opened up religion.
That's a can of worms you don't want to open.
Yeah, I didn't want to do either one. So one of the other panelists started talking about Donald Trump and Ford, and I said, "Oh, we don't want to go there." But we started talking about that.
Okay, guys.
If you were in a blab, you could just click the X and goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Heidi. Good to see you.
Heather, I'm curious. You've been doing your craft show for quite a while. Has it generated sales?
Oh yeah, I opened a store because of it.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I opened up an online store and I sell my artwork and stuff too. Yeah.
You promote the show? I mean, your store on your show?
Yeah. Whenever I use products that I sell in the store, then I'll promote the store then. But I don't only use the products that I sell.
Okay.
I just can't put my hands on every product. And there are some products I really love, and I'll still promote them anyway, even though I don't sell them personally.
You have sponsors?
No.
No?
I had an opportunity to work with Joann's, and I kind of got scared when that presented itself with all of the legal stuff that went on. It just started appearing in my head that I may have to do what they say.
Okay.
And they may take control of my show, and it freaked me out a little bit. So that one I pushed away. But
do you think you'll have on Hangouts and Business Hangouts, since it's posted to YouTube, if you choose to, and Blab isn't, do you think you'll be able to have sponsors, more sponsors on if you move over to Blab?
No, I know I won't move to Blab because this tiny little screen and me showing you how I'm doing what I'm doing will never work.
Okay.
Unless they were to do a thing where you could promote one screen, even then it's still a lower quality video. It's just, this is just isn't made for a demonstration like that. Even though some people have tried, you know, some people are doing like cooking shows and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel that they're just trying to make something work because it's new and it's different than what they've been doing for a long time unsuccessfully. So that's just my thoughts.
Are you going to try and use Blab to do other stuff?
No? You know, it kind of talked a little bit about maybe doing a Blab afterwards, like the show's over, join me on Blab if you want to come and hang out.
Okay.
But again, we're dealing with the same problems. It's a little screen, and everybody wants to show what they're working on, and it's just not as comfortable as using Business Hangouts, being able to invite people up, having multiple people in the strip at once. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I may just use it to create havoc in the marketplace, just to get people excited or ticked off about talking about something that they don't like.
Now I will say, yeah, exactly. Now I will say this: I was kind of a little bit left out of the Periscope realm because my phone wouldn't work with Periscope. I just don't have. I have an S4, Galaxy S4, but it wouldn't work with Periscope for some reason. And so I know that I could make it work by fiddling with some of the operating system, and I think Debbie ended up getting hers to work. Somebody made it work for her, but I'm just not worth doing that. But no, it's not going to happen. So,
yeah, I don't like to have to go through making a lot of changes to anything to make it work.
Right. So that was kind of my thinking was, you know what, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not even going to do it. But then I watched all of my crafty friends go to the store with their phone and do a Periscope. And, hey, these are the products I'm picking up for next week's blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I thought, man, that would be really cool to do stuff like that. This would give you that opportunity to do something like that and have a couple people join in and say, hey, what's that over there? Or pick me up a couple of those,
Right.
So,
well, I can currently use Glass to stream live. I can use my smartphone to stream live. I can use my MacBook Air to stream live. I can stream live on 2 iPads. So I'm thinking of doing something where I have all of them going at the same time.
Well, you could do it. If you have enough bandwidth and enough data.
Yeah. But
that's the other thing, data plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all this technology just fascinates me. I've done a couple of Periscopes just to see what it looked like. It's easy to do. Glass is now easy to do. I can just say, hey, okay, Glass broadcast, and I can broadcast. But all the stuff that you can do just fascinates me. And people are always talking about that small businesses should be using this. And if you are really a small business owner, you're pretty much a one person, this kind of technology can just put you up there with the Amazons of the world. for little or nothing.
Yeah, you get to offer something to people that the big companies just don't take the time to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
But small business people like a part of what I do on my show, we always invite small business people to come on, like you came on the show.
I was going to say, you invited me on.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do with the show, not just talk about cars, but okay, let's get some business person to come on and promote themselves. You know, we can't find anybody who want to sit in front of a camera and talk about their own business.
It's goofy, isn't that goofy?
But that's the way marketing and advertising is going now. You know, you're gonna have to put this supposedly camera shyness away. Or if you don't want to be on camera, put the camera on products and you're talking about the product.
Well, that's just it. That's just it. So focus on what it is that you want to talk about then. If you don't want to talk about yourself. Now, I don't like talking about myself. So let me talk about myself for a minute. So, I mean, honestly, I do not. So Cindy is asking if anyone can join, Andrew. You see that in the comments?
Yeah, but until she clicks yes to join, I can't approve.
Well, probably because you put the word private up there. She's asking you for permission. Is that awesome?
Just tell her yes.
Well, actually, Russ is on his way in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
well, she can sit in for a few minutes and then leave.
And I will go if Russ comes in too. Heck yeah.
So what were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't like doing things like taking selfies, and I have a hard time conversing about me and what I do and that kind of stuff. I really like to put the spotlight on my members and, you know, what those folks are doing over in the community. I love to talk about all of their talents.
Right.
I love that. Yeah, I can understand not wanting to be in front of the camera. I can understand that because I prefer as soon as we put the camera over onto my workstation and you see me doing stuff, that's my happy zone. I don't
but
like
I mean, let's say you're invited to be on a show, whether it's on Hangouts or Business Hangouts or Blab or Periscope or whatever it is. And they're saying, okay, tell us a little bit about your business. That's different than when you are hosting a show and you're talking about your business.
True, very, very true. A lot of the interviews that I get are, so how did you get started? What took place? What did that kind of stuff. And you know, and how much work does it take? And, you know, all these kind of things. I don't mind talking about what you need to do to be in business, but I don't like talking about my story all the time.
Yeah.
That makes me feel very self-centered. I don't like that. As a matter of fact, hey, Russ.
Hi, Heather.
Yeah, but we're trying to get people on to talk about what they do, whether they're in the auto industry or not in the auto industry. And we're primarily looking to find small business people to come on. You can be anywhere in the country, literally in the world, and just let me know you want to be on. We'll schedule you and have you on as long as you want to talk about your business. We don't have to talk about cars. You can be talking about anything that you want to talk about that's related to your business, because we want to promote small businesses in the marketplace. And we know all of them have a car or a truck or several. So
listen, I really enjoyed being on your show, Roosevelt. You were an excellent host.
Thank you.
Panel was very, very kind, and everybody asked great questions. That was a great time. I enjoyed that.
I've trained them to be kind and gentle.
You feed them with cookies, don't you?
I said, we're not on here looking for scoops. We're not trying to embarrass anybody. We just want to have some fun and get some good information out to people. That's all we do.
Looks like I'll never be on the Roosevelt show.
If you want to come on, Andrew, let me know. We'll have you on there.
No, it's funny. I don't mind doing my own show, but I really don't like to appear on other people's show. I don't know what, but because how did you get started? Well, I had no plan to do this. I mean, it just sort of, I went with the flow, and this is what washed up,
You followed Heather, huh?
Yeah.
He was here first. I follow him.
We all do.
But people,
I like this better than this.
People want to hear that. A lot of business people just stumble into going into business. It's not something, like you say, you plan to do. Like, I didn't plan to do what I was doing. I got fired.
Right.
So I started my own business.
Well, yeah, same thing. I didn't plan to retire when I did, but they had other ideas.
Yeah, right. I mean, so
that I do like talking about, because I think it's quite interesting that, I did do it with a plan. I wrote out a business plan. I had a 5-year and a 10-year. I had all these benchmarks. That failed terribly. This sort of happened, and I could have never seen 3 or 4 years ago that I'd be doing what I'm doing today.
Board.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. I didn't know whether that showed just for me or whether
see, I don't see any of that. Where do you find it?
on the
Left-hand
left-hand,
panel.
over on the left-hand side.
For me, it's next to Andrew's head above the Tell a Little Bird button.
I don't see it on my side.
I see blab beta, private user to user, members only, 10 a.m. Central.
Oh, okay. Now I see the on the record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Andrew, when you start a record, pause it, and hit record again, does it stitch it as one recording or separate recordings?
I think it picks up and stitches it together and makes just one recording. Because at the end, when you end it, you get a video and you get just the audio.
Uh-huh.
And
I would assume you're not going to get multiples, because you wouldn't know which part is which, I would assume.
Right.
Yeah.
I would assume if they put it all together.
We'll find out tomorrow.
End, right? It was a pause.
Yeah, it was a pause.
Now, I did podcasting.
Well, now wait. Mine got a button, a double, like a play button. There is no pause button. It's just that button and recording. And then when I click that button again, it goes to off the record, which is the pause.
Okay.
So if you're recording, that's the way you stop the recording. And then I'm assuming if I'm recording right now and ended this thing, it would end the recording, I would think. But I could pause it and then end it, and then that would have stopped the recording. You could actually say, I'm ending this thing before you do. You just don't run into a full dead stop. But we'll see on my video channel tomorrow when I get this thing all loaded up and everything.
Now, do any of you plan on getting into podcasting if you're not into podcasting? Because with Blab, you do get the audio where you can put up as a podcast.
If I were going to do podcasting, it would be video podcasting, because my show would make no sense without the video. So.
Yeah, and I don't see me getting into it, because doing the 3 help things daily, 7 days a week, plus transferring all the videos for all the members over onto my blog and everything, I don't have a lot of time for podcasting.
Right.
And I don't have my own website, so there's no place for me to actually put it up anyway.
You can put podcasts up on iTunes, I think.
Well, see, I always associate iTunes with Apple and music and stuff, and I'm not into. I mean, any music I want is usually a big band sound, and I find that on a YouTube replay somewhere.
I mean, I did podcasting years ago when I would do a show and just interview one person. It was just me and that person, and then I would make a podcast out of that.
Yeah, I did that when I first started on AOL.
Yeah.
That was very early 90s,
But I don't think I'm going to get back into podcasting. I'm like Heather. I like the video stuff. I like the visual. Even though people are saying, well, people can listen to it in the car. That's fine. I don't think there are too many people that are listening to talk shows in their car. If you look at the bell curve, they're probably at the extreme ends and not the middle. Most people listen to music of some sort. So.
Yeah. Well, unless you're a genealogist, then you're listening to Lisa Cook or Jerry Myrtle or somebody in their latest podcast. Because you'd be surprised they're always driving conferences and they need something to keep them awake. And it depends on who's doing the podcast. I listen to some people, and they're great on a video, but their podcast loses something of their personalities. Other people seem to be a little too stiff on video, But you get them on a podcast, doing a podcast interview, and they're just the life of the party. They're entertaining. It's fun to listen to, and the whole thing. Of course, I don't ever go anywhere in a car anymore, so I, sort of lost on me. I mean, I'm glued to these videos, to this thing, all day, every day, practically.
I remember when I first was introduced to Hangouts, and I spent hours just watching different Hangouts. And I mean, from start to finish, I didn't skip around. I wanted to see how people did it. And the same way with Blab, I said, okay, let me see what's happening with Blab. And I watched this show last night that was 2 hours, almost a 3-hour show. And I paused it to go and do other things, but came back and literally watched the whole thing for 3 hours. But I did it as a part of research. And I tell people all the time, if there's something you're interested in, you'll watch it, no matter how long the length of it is.
That's true.
If you have the interest enough, you will do it. If you're not interested, no, you're not going to do it. And if you're not interested, why would you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but I learned a few things about how to do a Blab and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what got me interested in, Blab was the new shiny toy, and I saw everybody going over to it and everything. But then I watched Mariana Stevenson's tutorial that she did on how to set up a Blab and the whole thing. It's 7 minutes and probably one of the best I have ever seen. It's short, it's succinct. She's got 17 steps. Just bang, 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 bang. Here it is. I thought,
where is that?
Mariana Stevenson, blogade.com. And that's AIDE is her thing. She's just now joining. She'll be joining Susan Finch on that Geek Speak Guides.
And she's really knowledgeable, incredibly knowledgeable, that Mariana. She is a very good business person to follow if you want a small business hints and ideas and stuff to do with your
In addition to being a WordPress guru. She knows WordPress inside and out.
Yeah, she's definitely somebody to follow if you are in business for yourself, running all that stuff, for sure.
I have to check her out.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good person. Of course, it helps that she's also from Tennessee and lives here in Nashville.
Oh, have you met her personally?
Not personally. Yeah. Actually, I thought until I saw this last video that she and Sheila Hensley did, I thought she actually lived in Jackson rather than in Nashville. I knew she was up here all the time because she's mentioned Percy Priest Lake and the dam, which is like 3/4 of a mile down the road from me. But I thought she actually lived in Jackson. It wasn't until I saw that video that I realized she actually lived here in Nashville. Yeah. That's like my quote buddy unquote Elizabeth Shawn Mills. It was the longest time before I found out she lives 30 miles up the road here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And she is the person who wrote the standards for genealogy evidence tracking stuff. Yep. Evidence explained. And that's what, the second edition? Third
edition.
Yeah. But and she's a neat lady too. She's very, very, very knowledgeable. If you get her, she can tend to be dry in the written word, but she's not that dry when she's actually talking and everything. She's got almost, I would call it, a British sense of humor. She's very, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a college degree watching a lot of this stuff if you.
Yeah, you really
can.
Really
focus on it. You can pretty much learn anything you want to learn.
Yeah. And see, that's one thing I believe, not necessarily Blab and not necessarily Hangouts, but something like that. Think of all the money that upper education could save if instead of building college dormitories and all that stuff, you just built buildings and they each had their own little recording studio for the professor and all the students lined in. They pay a certain amount to take the course and that's it. you'd save all the land, all the building costs, college education costs would just collapse.
Yeah.
But I guess that's. I mean, and most of the universities could do it just by using their endowment fund.
Yeah, I mean, they're already set up for stuff like that because they already do online courses and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't have to invest anything. They could go from where they are, and you know what? Then you say take money, make it less expensive. They say charge the same amount and make bigger profit. So
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, you can know something about anything you want to know about just doing a simple search, even if it's on YouTube or wherever.
Yeah.
You don't have to know everything, just know where to find it. So,
listen, we have a drain problem over here, and I'm in the basement of my house, and on the other side of this wall that's right next to me is the laundry room. And there is a drain that sticks up like 2.5 feet up into the air. It's just a pipe that sticks up out of the drain hole, but it's rusted at the very bottom. And we want to put a sink there, but in order to do that, we'd have to remove that post, that hole. And he's terrified of cutting it down because it's so rusted at the bottom that he's afraid if he starts sawing at this thing, it's going to just snap off, but it'll break at a part that will then be not usable. So I said, well, look it up on YouTube, see what there is. He found 5 different videos on how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So then he's sitting at the dining room table and going, okay, all right, I didn't think about that. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm looking at videos. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I said it, but I didn't mean, sit down at the dinner table and start doing that right now.
No, my sister does that. I mean, she's had trouble with the sprayer on the sink thing. And there was, when you buy this thing, you get a special little screw thing to undo the screen that goes on the thing, right? Well, we misplaced that, couldn't find where to order one. I said, well, there's got to be a way to disassemble that whole faucet, not just screw that little thing out, Well, so she goes over and sure enough, she found 4 or 5 different videos about how to disassemble that whole faucet. And it included a special number where she could order the replacement part that she needed. Yeah. And she's constantly running over there to find different things, She does her police scanner work. She sits at this police scanner all day.
Oh, goodness.
And listens to the scanner, and then she posts out into the different neighborhood watch pages any incidents going on in that neighborhood, like if there's a shooting or a car accident or whatever. And then from there, they spread it out, among themselves and everything. But she's been having trouble with her antenna for her scanner, and so she wrote the manufacturer. Manufacturer couldn't help her a whole lot. She said, well, there's got to be something on YouTube. So she goes over to YouTube. There's a thing there. This guy's done a video. She gets in touch with him. He comes back. They get together on Facebook. He shows her what she needs to do and everything. It's just, Facebook is like the Encyclopedia Britannica. I mean, not Facebook.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's like the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
You look for a subject, you're going to find a video on it. You want to know how to train a leopard in Arkansas? Yeah. There's probably a video for it. Yeah.
Yeah, for students not to be educated on any particular subject line, it's because they just don't go online.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do, but they're busy reporting what they're doing and what nail salon they're in and where they're having their hair done and all this other stuff. And for which I congratulate you, Heather. You didn't do that.
I mean, I like dogs. I'm not a cat lover. I go out to eat, not that often, but I do go out to eat. I'm just not going to post a picture of a dog. I don't own a dog anymore. I used to own St. Bernards. I like real dogs, not these little things that run around and yelp. I like big dogs. You can call that a dog. You can see it.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested in a picture of your dog laying on the floor, on the back and legs up in the air, or what you have for dinner. I mean, that doesn't excite me.
I posted my dinner last night because I feel like a gourmet chef. I actually made it myself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would have started out showing me, yeah, I prepared this meal and a couple of quick cutouts of how you did it, and then you showed the meal, that's different.
Yeah,
But not I'm sitting in a restaurant. I'm Heather, and I'm sitting in a restaurant, and this is what I'm having for dinner.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, that's just not me. Yeah,
No.
I took a really crappy picture of my food plate on my lap. That's what I did. Ooh, look at that. That is so good. I'm good.
But I'm just not into that kind of stuff, and you see so much of it. It's just ugh.
Hey, and also birthday celebration started yesterday, so you're going to see lots of things like cookies, cupcakes, candy, stuff that I'm giving myself for my birthday all week long.
yeah. I expect to see a few from John Brown too.
You better. I told him. Our birthdays are the same day, so I told him birthdays started today. Are you celebrating?
He didn't invite you to his party where he lives?
No, if he did, he'd have to pay the airfare.
Well, he was going to do that too.
Oh.
Well, that's a hefty ticket with Heather in Montana and John in Hawaii.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I have a teeny tiny little airport, so getting me, anywhere pretty much costs an arm and a leg, and maybe a foot.
So, Russ, do you do blabs? You host blabs?
I do not. Hangouts on air, 3 or 4, 5, 6 a week.
Yeah, I've seen some of your hangouts. I pop in every now and then, but I just want to know if you'd started hosting any blabs or.
No, this is the first time I've been on. I'm trying to figure out how it works.
Right?
Yeah, this is my second day sitting in on one. I'm like you, trying to figure out how it works. I figured Andrew would know everything about the ins and outs of how this thing would work, so I said I'll sit in with Andrew.
Come to find out it's my first time doing it.
I have a question for you, Andrew.
Okay.
Where is it recorded? On your computer?
Actually,
They send you the recording, so it's not recorded anywhere on your system until you download it.
Where is it recorded? On Blab?
Yeah, there's.
I think it's on their own server.
Oh, okay.
Because when it's over, then they send you a. I don't know whether it's a link to the recording or the actual recording, and then they send you an audio file with it, so you can have like just a podcast or the whole video. So you get 2 files.
So then you could upload it to YouTube?
Yeah, to YouTube or Vimeo or wherever you want to, put it on your website. Yeah.
Heather, are you using it yet?
No, I probably won't, honestly.
Okay.
That could be a pretty big file if you do something like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do Mondays. We do at least 90 minutes.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I think I'm going to stop this recording.